Good morning, everyone. I'd like you to meet Allison Castano, our speaker today. She is an MBA, a client attraction expert, Powerhouse Speaker, and six-figure success coach who loves to help small business owners attract more clients, gain quicker profits, and still have a life. She spent 20 years traveling the globe, making corporate sales dreams come true for industry leaders, and directing massive high-level client marketing programs for Fortune 500 companies. Though she garnered multiple awards for her sales success, her heart helped her break free from the corporate life and coach in the entrepreneurial world. She now helps solopreneurs to break six figures in record time, showing them how to get real and get results with her fearless and fun approach to no BS strategic business building. You have an amazing product or service but not enough paying clients? Get overwhelmed with all the ways you can market your business? Feel like you're riding the revenue roller coaster? Put an end to the insanity of spaghetti marketing tactics, wondering what does and doesn't work for solopreneurs who have limited time, energy, and resources to grow their business. Gain focus, clarity, and powerful next steps for your small business. Find out 3 rockstar tips that will elevate and separate you from the crowd. Allison Castano.
Yay! Thanks for telling them what I'm going to tell you. What we're going to do. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Allison. I'm so thrilled to be here. I've known Paula and Jackie for years. I've also worked with Carolyn Rose-Hart as well. It's good to have some great cheerleaders that Sunday. We've got some familiar faces here. I'm going to kick things off because I know I'm competing with breakfast, digestion, and food and distraction. So I want you to turn to your neighbor, someone you know or don't know, give them a big old fat high five and say, "You are a rock star." You are a rock star. You are a rock star. And you know what? I didn't even tell you why. Would you like to know why? Because you are a freaking amazing entrepreneur. Yes, only 10% of the population is crazy enough to do something called entrepreneurship, where you leap off a cliff and say, I am going to go make a difference in this world. Raise your hand if you do what you do because you know you have the power to change someone's life with your gift. I hope that is everybody. And wouldn't you agree that money is the byproduct of that, not the end goal? Amen? We're in a church, we can say that, right? No more piano music. It is truly the byproduct. So what I'm here to do today is help you get everything that's in your head, your mad, crazy expertise of years of working on your business, and what's in your heart, and get them together out into the world in a way that is super client attractive. Because 3 years from now, how old will you be?
3 years old.
Thank you. You will be 3 years older. And if you're not clear, get a calculator. If you're not clear on how you're going to get to where you want to be in 3 years by changing what you're doing today, it ain't never going to happen. So my hope for you today is that I can create, really, truly, this is kind of crazy of me, to say that I can create a quantum leap in the way that you do your business, a massive change in the way that you show up in your business, because it really is an inside-out job. And the 2 biggest things that all entrepreneurs need in this world are clients, yes? And you need to know how to sell. And if you're not focusing on that, folks, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics has some bad news for you. The failure rate of small businesses is increasing. And it used to be 50% in 5 years. Does anyone know what it is now, the failure rate of small businesses? 80% of all small businesses. Hi! So let's get you some help. Let's get you clear on what you're doing in this world and how to get it out there in a big, bad way. I'm going to share with you a lot of juicy things. I am going to move fast and talk fast because I am from the East Coast, and I will definitely be around here afterwards to answer more of your questions if I run out of time in the beginning, because I think we were initially at more time and now we have less time. So get your pens. We're going to jump right in here. The top 3 mistakes that keep solopreneurs stuck in 5 figures forever. It is depressing. If you are a single man business, many of us don't get to 6 figures. In fact, about 94% of all entrepreneurs stay in 5 figures. That's about the same as if you had a JOB. So let's focus on what we're going to talk about right now is maybe what's going on that is common for all entrepreneurs, and there's no like shame, bad, this is guilt, you're awful, you're terrible. This is just like awareness, because there are common patterns and things that get us to 6 figures. So we're going to look at a little bit about what's going on, what's not happening in your business, and then what needs to happen. How does that sound? Good? All right, if you play with me, I'll play with you. I'm a little sassy this morning. Got the sassy meter on high. So the first mistake that we see for entrepreneurs who are not in six figures yet is no clarity. And by that, I mean you're doing a lot of things, wondering what works. I like to call that spaghetti marketing. Does anyone want to share what that does in your business? What is spaghetti marketing?
Throwing something against the wall and see if it sticks.
Ha! Yes, thank you. Throw something against the wall, see if it sticks. That's where most entrepreneurs are spending their time, is just like, there's so many ways to market a business, right? And when you do spaghetti marketing over a long period of time, what happens to you? Worn out. Anything else?
Turn into sauce.
You turn into
Sauce.
That's original. Anything else?
Well, you're spending your money inappropriately if it's not sticking.
Spending your money? Yep. You're also spending something called your precious, precious time, which you don't really have a lot of. You're probably wearing 14 hats. So the more you do spaghetti marketing, the more stretched out you get, and you're still not sure what exactly works. So until you take the time to sit down and really look at how you're going to make this thing work, you kind of repeat those patterns. You see this over and over again. And you also suffer from something that I like to call, if you're filling in the blank here, Swiss Army knife syndrome. Swiss Army knife syndrome. And that means you probably do a lot of things. And I hope that you do. You're all gifted. You all have a lot of gifts you can share with this world. But you've got so many out there that you're not really able to focus on what is going to bring clients in the door. So maybe you've been to other networking events where they're like, I can fix this for you and fix your finances and your health and your weight and your sanity and your marriage and everything else as well. And it's like, how do I refer someone to that? Because that's really a lot. Or just, I'm a life coach. That's great. But life is like, it's hard every day. I don't know which part you could possibly fix. And so we kind of see the Swiss Army knife syndrome holding people back when they're not really clear. And I will say to you, for the purposes of client attraction, it's okay that you can do a lot of things and fix a lot of things for people once they're inside your client cave and they've agreed to work with you. But really what you're putting out into the world, that one big thing that's going to get you noticed and get you known as the it person in your industry, has to be very clear. So I share that in a fun workshop that's coming up later in the month. It's going to be really fun. Number 2, no clients. This is really fun. I've got some P words here. Help me out here. I'm going to give you the first one. Passion equals, have you ever heard this? Profit. Have you ever heard that? If you've got passion, honey, you just put it out there. You just wait for those clients to show up and find you. And a lot of business owners come out this way just saying, I know that I can help people. And when I put it out there, the clients will come. And that's great, and it's definitely a way to start a business, but it does not sustain a business. Having great passion will sustain you when things get hard, but you've got to have another P word that I'm going to give you right now. It's my favorite one. It's a 4-letter word, plan. There is no plan. Oh my gosh, there is no plan. And I did this too when I started my business. I kind of jumped off a cliff. Guess what, honey? I'm starting a business. I'm going to take everything that's in my marriage, my sanity, my health, our wealth, everything. I'm just going to empty it all and jump off a cliff into the land of entrepreneurship. Does that sound familiar to anybody? And there was no plan. But holy cow, that's amazing. You're risking a lot and you're putting a lot out there without having a really structured plan of what works for one-man businesses to get to 6 figures. So you've got to really make sure that you have resources around you and help and invest in a plan. The third thing we see that keeps entrepreneurs stuck in 5 figures is no cash. This is like, hey, you love what you do, but you don't love being broke. That's a common thing I see. You don't love sales. And that's actually okay. It's okay, because I'm not here to make you a sales rock star. That's a really hard thing to do. And that's actually a very small percentage of natural-born salespeople. I know we have at least one in the room, Michelle. Raise your hand if you're like a natural sales rock star, and you're like, yeah, pretty much I hope, because you teach it.
No, my sister
Okay. So, very good answer. So it's a learned skill, right? So I'm not here to make you a sales rock star. What I'm going to offer you is a different way to look at your business, because only 3% of the population is, and yes, I'm one of those freaky birds that I was in the corporate world, a sales rock star, and I just rose to the top, and I loved it, and then I started teaching and training on it, and then it was my turn and my time to make my dreams come true instead of corporates when I was having little babies. So I took the leap, like, oh, I got an MBA, I worked in corporate sales and marketing, I got this thing down, I'm going to start a business. Huh. Oh my goodness. It is hard, and I am older than some people when they started a business, and actually probably older than you think. And I realized very early on in the journey, I can pay with time or money or both or sanity or health. And I struggled for about a year, and I said, enough. I'm going to go get help for my business, because otherwise I'm just going to pay with time. And I didn't want to miss my baby's lives. So I jumped into a year-long program that blew up my business in huge, huge, awesome ways. And I had that speed bump called life interrupt me. Did you ever have a speed bump called life interrupt your business? Holy cow. But I was able to get through it. I told my mentor, I'm like, this stinks. I've got this huge, massive speed bump that slowed me down for 4 to 6 months. It was not a pretty thing. And she said, that's great. You're going to be so awesome. And I'm like, what? What do you mean that's awesome that I have this awful life speed bump in the middle of growing my business? She said, everyone does it. Everyone has speed bumps, but you got to keep going, and you're going to get the thing that every entrepreneur needs, which is focus. And I wanted to slap her through the phone, but I couldn't. So I got focused, and I figured out you can run a business when you are hyper-focused on what works, instead of enslaving yourself to the myth that I must work 60 to 70 hours a week and be a martyr because this is what entrepreneurs do. That's smoke and mirrors. When you're really, really focused on, you know what works in your business, things become a lot easier. And then you get that freedom, because didn't you become an entrepreneur to be free? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, who wants to go back to corporate? Oh, no, nauseous. So I'm a little on fire on the soapbox. So today we're going to talk about the quantum leap in this big box here for your business. We're going to talk about the difference between selling and attraction. So write that down. Would you rather sell to people or attract them into your business? Which would you like?
Attraction.
Say it. Attraction. Yeah, selling, kind of brings up what kind of feelings. When you're being sold to, how do you feel? You feel what? Icky. I hear that word a lot, yes? Defensive. Annoyed. Inauthentic. And how's the energy around that?
Manipulated.
What's that?
Manipulated.
Manipulated, yes. How's the energy around that? Ooh. Now let's take a deep breath. Talk about attracting people into your business. When you're attracted to something, how does that feel?
Invigorating.
Invigorating. Exciting. Exciting. Attracted to things, yes? And it feels good. And I want to give you these 3 words, if I could, around attraction. If you're taking notes, engage. You want to engage your folks. You want to educate them. You want to invite them to work with you. That is such a massive shift in your business. And when you're out sharing the little pieces of your world with your prospects and your future clients, the energy that they have is like, yeah, you're kind of shiny, I kind of like you, yeah, oh my gosh. And then they're like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. And then you're not having to do the follow-up, giddy up. We good? Okay. I know you're timing me, so okay. So we'll put an end to that follow-up, giddy up of sales. Like, I got your card, I got to follow up, I got to call you, I got to email you, I got to do coffee, I got to da. Put an end to that. Oh, I get so excited. So think about attraction as a shift, if you would. If you're into energy, great. If you're not, get into it. Because I'll tell you what, when you show up to a conversation having to sell, there's a lot of pressure on you to perform and sell, right? Ugh. When you shift over to putting the energy on someone else and truly serving them and helping them with your gifts that you are very, very clear that you own in this world, it is extremely powerful when you just leave the candle over their head and then they get to choose what they want to do to solve their problem. So juicy. So I love teaching about that. That's like a 6-day workshop on a cruise ship next year. So stay tuned for more. No kidding. Ooh, I'm getting dinged. That's a good thing. So what if I have here, you were noticed, trusted, and seen as an expert. Are you an expert? You bet you are. You've got 8 gobs of years of million, trillion bits of information in your head. You're an expert. The goal is to get you recognized, seen, and heard, and understood as an expert much faster in your communities and in your markets so that people will come to you faster. And this client attraction model I'm going to share with you now creates a massive shift for you. I brought my magic martini glass. If you could, on the first box here, I've given you an empty box to draw in a martini glass. Please draw your martini glass. No judging on art here. This martini glass travels with me so many places. It's served me very well. It's empty most of the time. It's a little early for mimosas. So this is a representation of your sales funnel, and I want you to be aware of some things because we can't fix it and give you some tips till you understand what's going on, right? We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on typically for most entrepreneurs, and you don't have to raise your hand. You can just do like the silent little winky nod to yourself if this is going on. So the top of your funnel, above here, like the champagne bubbles, if you want to draw them in, those are your people. They're out here, yes? And your goal is to bring them towards you with what you're putting out into the world in terms of your marketing, what comes out of your mouth, what's on your website, what's your flyer. This gentleman does workshops. I freaking love that. What are you putting out that's going to get you noticed? It's going to be different for you. And then in the middle here is where you have the chance to bond. So on the letter A here, I'm giving you the secrets here of the client attraction model that we'll go deeper into on the next page. Letter A is attract. You've got to attract attention of those shiny champagne bubbles and get them down into your funnel. Letter B is bond. Once they've noticed you, then you've got to do some work and really show them that you're an expert. They don't know that. You know that. You wake up and say every ding dong dang day, you look in the mirror, I'm an expert on bookkeeping. How do I get these people to figure it out? Spend some time on bonding. I've given you the 3 letters here of KLT. What do those mean? Anybody?
No, like, trust.
Oh, I love it. No, like, and trust. Rhymes with BLT. If people want to work with you, they got to get to know you first and like you and trust you. That's huge, and a lot of people toss those letters around all the time, not really sure what it means or how it's showing up in your business. The letter C at the bottom, this is your favorite part. This is where you get to work with the people, yes? Do you love what you do? When you have a client in front of you and you're doing the work, how does it feel? Right? How do you feel when you work with someone? Amazing. Yes. Michelle, how do you feel? Oh, she's got her mouthful. Carolyn?
And very vaguely.
Time does not exist.
Time does not exist. So wouldn't every entrepreneur just want to focus on the martini glass piece of this? Like, just bring me all the clients. I just want to do the work, right? And wouldn't it be great if I could wave a magic wand and give you 20 silver platter clients just right here and you'd never have to do sales and marketing? Wouldn't that be nice, right? So a couple of things that we see happen in this martini glass sales funnel world is that if you do end up having a lot of clients come in at once, you love it and you work with them and you're all juicy and you're so focused on them and delivering excellent product or services, what happens to the top of the funnel? Yeah. You're not focused on that. You don't have a repeatable system that's constantly bringing you clients, right? Does not have anything to do with how much time you're spending here. You've got to figure out how to get a reliable, repeatable system in place. Another thing I see for a lot of entrepreneurs is that they are so desperate for clients just because they've never really figured out how to get clients. They're in constant desperado mode, which, that makes decisions and strategy and everything very hard to do in your business. And if you're just in desperado mode, you actually try to shortcut this system and turn this into a shot glass, which I didn't bring, and go from attracting to close. And you skip the whole bonding thing, and you're like, hi, it's nice to meet you. Let's get our business card. We're going to go to coffee. It's awesome. I got to sell you. Okay, so we're going to go to coffee. Got to get it on the calendar today. They don't like tomorrow. Like, no, we're going to do it right now. And Katie, we're going to sit down, and we're going to have coffee. And we are going to talk to each other, and we're going to arm wrestle, and try to sell each other and each other's businesses, and I'll take 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. One of us is going to buy from each other because I need that client. Whew! Where's the bonding? Where's the no, like, and trust? So that's what I want to share with you, some secrets on that. Is this landing for you? Say yes.
Yes.
Am I scaring you? I hope no. It's good stuff, right? Good reminders. And becoming the CEO of your company does not mean you have to wait until you have people under you. You are a CEO today. Say, I'm a CEO.
I'm a CEO.
Turn to your neighbor and say, put your CEO panties on, please.
I'm
Put those CEO panties on, please. Okay. I wish you could like zoom around and get all that on there. So I've got some juicy things that we're going to cover now because obviously this is a really huge topic, but I've got a lot of different things for you folks to really focus on getting clients. So the number one goal of your business, right here, get your pens folks. What is the number one goal of your business? Attract clients. That's it. You are a business owner in business. You want to serve people with your gifts. You want to be a bookkeeper. You want to be an acupuncturist. You want to be an architect. But your number one goal is to get clients, because if you ain't got clients, you can't share your gifts, can you? Oh my gosh. So that is your number one goal. And how we miss our market here is no visibility. And that just means no visibility. No visibility means there's people out here in the world, but they don't know you exist. Would you agree? There's plenty of people on the planet. There's about 7 billion. They keep moving to Denver. Please tell them to stop. Lived here for 16 years. No visibility means what are we putting out there? What are we actually doing to get clients? It's really easy to get distracted and do other things that are not so handy. And I have here a little note. This is really funny, so pay attention here. Suffer from SOS. This is another made-up ninja term. Shiny object syndrome. Do you ever feel like you suffer from that?
Yes.
There's so many ways to grow my business. I'm going to go over here, and then I have to do this, and then I got to go over there, and then I'm responding to fires, and urgent, and important, and all these different things. So one last thing that happens in the martini glass with shiny object syndrome, let me show you. You'd rather work on other things rather than the top of the funnel, which is where most of your time should be spent. So I call this with my clients in my year-long mastermind program something called hiding, which we do, and that means, well, instead of focusing on getting clients, I'm going to come over here and make sure that my website is absolutely perfect and tweaked, even though no one's really looking at your website. Or I'm going to go over here and maybe write a book for 3 or 4 months so I have credibility, but I still don't have clients coming in the door to pay for the book publishing. Or I'm going to create my coaching programs and spend a lot of time creating them in a complete isolated vacuum where nobody even knows what those look like. And I'll tweak my pricing and packaging for months without ever having put it out there to sell it, because that's kind of scary. Fear comes up. Or my favorite one is I'm going to create a great way to follow up with all the people that I meet when I'm networking. So I'm going to spend a lot of time creating a 42 email hammer chain. And I know by that 42nd email, baby, they're going to pull the trigger and come in and have a strategy session with me. And email is a long, slow boat to China. It's very complex. So fear comes up a lot of times too. And that is a daily struggle for many entrepreneurs, and I love to support them in. So let's flip the page. Say, flip it. Flip the page here. We're going to talk about what to focus on. Would you like to know what to focus on? Yes? All right. This is what you've got to focus on to keep the money flowing faster into your business. Everyone wants clients, yes?
Yes.
And you want the confidence too. We all deal with it. It's a Me Too story, guys. I've been there. I still have days, you know, it's like my mentor has a mentor, her mentor has a mentor. I hear all the stories. Growing a business is hard. The speed bumps knock you down. We all have different speed bumps, but I'm here to say I have them too. So we all deal with this. But confidence and clients come together. So please don't run off to the bushes to just work on your confidence and then try to sell. Getting clients is the best confidence booster that I know of. So this is the client attraction system. We've talked about it a little bit. It's the ABCs. I'm going to have you just fill in the blanks here. And this is more like a take-home study, because we don't have a whole lot of time to discuss at this point. So the letter A is attract attention. Oh my gosh, I have got to sit down and figure out how I'm going to be different and elevate and separate myself in the marketplace. 60% of your time must be spent on this. I guarantee massive action equals massive results. When you focus your time on this, guess what? You'll start getting clients. I have some fun numbers here. There's 50 ways to leave your lover, which means I'm old. You can chuckle, right? Are there 50 ways? 25 ways to market your business. You only need 3. Please write that down. So many times I see entrepreneurs who are just like, I've got to have all these ways to market because that's what everybody's telling me, and that's what the world tells me, and that's what my Facebook tells me, and Google Plus, and Hangouts, and webinars, and Periscope, and Twitter, and LinkedIn, and all. I have to do all of those. And if you do all of those, you will be 10% good at all of them. So find the 3 that work for your stage of business. There's 4 stages of business until you get into about the $500,000 range. for your ideal client, for where they're hanging out, and also for what you're serving them with. Use their language. Oh, sorry, yeah, you only need 3. Circle that. Because if you do too many, then you're just like back to spaghetti marketing again. Oh, it's exhausting. So I have used their language. Niching is huge. Anyone familiar with that fun word called niche? Rhymes with which? Being rich. It's not just your who. I'm going to give you some secrets here. It's 3 huge parts. It's not just your ideal client. If you've got that figured out and you're not in 6 figures, you're missing a big piece of that story, okay? The who is very important, but it's also what problems do you solve for them in their language. They're listening for what's in it for me. And when you say, I am a blank, I work with this company, and we have this process, and I do this, and I create this, it's all I, we, I. And your clients are like, what problems can you solve for me? And that's a whole fun thing that I share at my workshop coming up at the end of the month. And if you're interested in getting like the home game version of how to niche, this is the #1 thing that entrepreneurs don't spend enough time on to get clients. I would love to email you a one-time email home game version, downloadable audio and PDF, like follow along. It looks like this, but you don't get this in the mail. You get this in your inbox. So if you would like that, I'm going to pass this coffee cup round. And I don't send you a 42 email hammer chain, I promise. So put your card in there if you'd like that free gift from me, because this is so important that I couldn't even spend enough time just on that. So have your cards ready for that. Letter B, bonding. Woo, who likes James Bond? Yes? Bonding, I'm going to give you a little secret here. People need nibbles of you. Do they need all of you at once like a big fat elephant in their face? No, they need nibbles of you. They just want a little bit. So show them you're an expert by what you're putting out into the world, okay? I want you to get known as an expert so that you can shine. You got a light inside you, right? This little light of mine. I'm all in the church now. We want that light to shine so that people can find you. They're going to be like, oh, I think you get me. You're like a luminary. You're like an expert. Carolyn knows this. When you're speaking their language, it's like, tell me more, tell me more. It's so awesome when you show up as an expert and you get to shine there. The bigger the problem that you solve, I'm under bond right now, the bigger problem that you solve, the more know, like, and trust you must have, and you should be charging fairly good and high prices for your value. Otherwise, you will never get to 6 figures, and entrepreneurs are famous for undercharging. And that goes back to fear and owning your brilliance and all these other things. But if you're solving a really good problem, it's high on the problem-o-meter, or it's high on the emotional, like finances. Whew! You think that's emotional? Holy BG cow! You think your health and sanity and your business aren't emotional? You have the right to really get them to invest in you. Perfect. Yay. So how many touches do people need if you're going to do business with them? How many touches do they need? Anybody want to guess?
3.
7? 8? It's an auction. What's that? 6?
50.
50. Yeah, I've got time for 50 touches. Awesome. I'll be dead by then. It's 5 to 7 good quality touches. If you are strictly an online business and you don't ever like network, which you wouldn't be here, hopefully, but I don't know, it's 11 to 14 because our attention span is shrinking. And the online marketplace is so inundated. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and only about 3% of your people will buy. So just know that online marketing is like advanced stage marketing. It's very complex. There's a lot of money you can throw at it to figure out what's not going to work. And I'll tell you, most of it will not work for early stage entrepreneurs until you've gotten really clear on your niching. It's very, very powerful to pay attention to that. So what everyone wants, this is my favorite part of the whole talk. What everyone wants. And this is what I know, and you're all going to go, yes, I totally agree. And this has nothing to do with business, okay? What everyone wants on this planet, whether you're a business for yourself or for a company, whether you're a mom or a dad or a family or an aunt or an uncle or whatever, everyone on this planet, I truly believe, is wearing a sign that says, I want to be seen. I want to be heard. And I want to be understood. And this is outside the business, folks. But if you can plant that somewhere in what you're doing, the way you're showing up, bringing it to every meeting, bringing it everywhere you go. Everyone wants to be seen, heard, and understood. So all we're doing is putting that into the business scope of what you're putting out into the world when it's in their language. Wow, it's super powerful. So an example is a ladies coach. She's like, I work with women who are stuck. I help them get empowered. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. There are a lot. That's great. I help women who are in transition. I'm in transition every day at 6 a.m. when I get my kids to school. Hard to refer. You know a woman in transition who needs a life coach? You might get slapped if you shut it down now. So we look at what are the biggest chunks of people she loves to work with, that she gets the best results for, that she just wants to multiply and do her juicy jazz stuff with. It was breast cancer thrivers. And catch this, folks, she did not use the word survivors. She did the work to research for best people. And she was able to most help, it sounds weird, to help most breast cancer thrivers. So instead of saying, I'm a life coach who helps women who are stuck, it's now, I help breast cancer thrivers get back to a life that they love in their new journey, and something that they need to really, they need support for that. So now do you see how impactful that is, and where this lady spends her time, what kind of marketing she's going to do, and how to target her people? And can she get referrals? Sadly, probably yes, but everyone might know someone like that. That is just the power of niching and paying attention to what you're putting out there. So letter C, closing. I want you to get comfy with sales. And just call it whatever you want. Get comfy with the closing. Get comfy with that conversation. What typically happens is you show up, they show up, you're really nervous, you need the client, and you're like, am I good enough? Are they going to pay me? Am I really worth this? Am I good enough? You are good enough. You were born good enough. Doesn't matter how much is in your account. Doesn't matter how many clients you have. You were born good enough to do what you're doing. So get the skills in sales that you need. Once you learn them, you have them forever, but it's a process. You've got to get some skills around that closing conversation. The shift I have for you here is it's their choice. It's their choice to solve their problem that you have shown to them by working with you. It's not your choice to be like, So hopefully you have more than one way that people can work with you. That gets really easy. I gave you some last minute tips here. No gourmet crumbs. Please don't tweak your programs or trade your services or tweak your pricing just to keep food on the table. Stand strong in who you serve. Get really clear and focused, and those people will come. They will come to you when you are clear about what you are putting out into the universe and in the world. When you focus on letters A and B, meaning when you're really good at attracting and bonding, guess what happens to the sales conversation? It gets easier because they show up ready. And when they feel like they get you, they just say, when can we start? And here's my wallet. It really does happen like that. It starts to make a shift in your business. It's so powerful. And the last thing is, what you focus on will improve. Oh my gosh. It's amazing, you might have heard of that. But if you know how many people you have to talk to get a client, then you got to have numbers. And if you're not meeting enough people and you're not attracting enough people at the top of your funnel, and you've only got 2 potential clients, that might not be enough to fill your pockets every single month. So what you focus on improves. Typical sales closing ratios for people with no sales training is 1 in 5. So if you need 5 clients a month, you got to be talking and having real conversations with 25 people. That's a lot of dead-end coffee dates, but that's the only way you know how to get clients. Because coffee dates are expensive after a while, and Starbucks gives you the shakes after a while. So, to recap, take a deep breath. Just so that I can take a deep breath. I've got some juicy things for you. I'm going to send you that free, downloadable Niche Secrets Guide. It is so powerful. Will you do the work on that? Say yes?
Yes.
I'm going to gift you back these last 5 minutes because I have something very important for you. I do have a workshop coming up April 28th. It is, I don't even know if I have enough flyers here, so just come up and grab one if you want. But it is on how to attract your perfect clients now, get your marketing rear in gear. It is in another part of town because I speak freaking everywhere all the time, so I have to be centrally located. I do also have something on the back which is called the 6-Figure Blueprint, and this is going to help you be the CEO of your company. These are the skills that you need to build over the next 3 years, hopefully 1 year, to get clear on clients. And for those of you who are interested, I have something really special just for a few of you who are like, this is great, I'm getting really nauseous. When I speak, people get nauseous sometimes. It happens. I'm going to gift you back 5 minutes I've got 10 applications. So raise your hand if you would like to participate in a free review of your client attraction strategies. What the heck is going on? I know Carolyn has spent time working with me, and I'll pass these out. Do you want to share what it's been like to work with me in a year-long program that boosts your business?
I absolutely can't say enough about what I got by staying inside a structure of support with Allison, showing me the next step, the next step, the next step, and really, really getting clear about who I was. I mean, I had my Master's of Education, an award-winning book, and now I was ICF certified, which is big stuff. It took a long time to get those 8 tests passed. And I still didn't know who I helped, who I was, what I was putting out, and, you know, how they were getting any benefits from me. And Allison actually really supported me in getting really clear about who I was and what I did. Can't say enough about it. To stay inside a well-trained, proven system.
Support, accountability, focus, inspired action, imperfect action, forward, stomping out fear, and getting clear on clients, skills for sales, pricing, packaging. It's an incredible gift that I was able to go through the program and now share it. So I also do have these flyers. I know I do have a couple minutes and I want to hold the space so you guys can focus. And as much information as you give me, I've actually only got 4 spots of the 10 applications I received. So the more information you can give me about where you're at in your business, what do you want to achieve? I know I have some folks down here, I apologize I didn't have enough, but what do you want to achieve? What are your goals and what are your bottlenecks? What's going on in your business and like how long have you had your business? And some things like that. And I'll be around after to, make sure that I've got all of that. So I will be collecting these forms pretty soon, before the end of whatever, but please don't forget them. A lot of people just get excited to pick up their stuff and leave. So I'm going to just take a sip of water, give you 2 more minutes, because I think I've got 2 more on the clock, and we'll just hold the space for you CEOs. I want to thank you all for letting me share some client attraction tips. Big thank you to Jackie and Paula, who were like, hey, come and speak. Michelle, been lovely getting to know you and bringing me here. I want you to do 2 things for me. Say, I swear. Don't swear, we're in a church. I want you to promise to put your CEO panties on every week and work on this kind of stuff. Get all the resources that you can and work on this every single week. I want you to get uncomfortable and implement. Those who are comfortable stay ordinary and average. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. So that's why I'm here to encourage you to say, you've got it, baby, go get it. Thank you so much, and I'll be around for the rest of the day.